Hey everybody, welcome back to the A to Jump podcast. I am Justin of Justin Games, and we have the Super Alpha Giga Chad himself, Gooba Gooberson, aka Jake of Gooba and Jetpack. He's here. We got him.
Howdy, everybody. How we doing?
Uh, Jake, there was 10 billion, I think, showcases in the past couple weeks. We had a State of Play.
Yeah.
We had Pokémon Presents. We had a Paradox announcement show. There was Final Fantasy XVI news. There was Elden Ring news and Starfield news.
Yeah.
And I know what you're saying, dear viewer, that there's no way I can watch all these things. I have a life. Rest assured, I do not. And I watched all of them. And I took a lot of notes. And we're going to go through them.
Yeah.
Nothing earth shattering, but still fun.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
For a little background for everyone, I didn't watch any of this stuff until I watched the State of Play, pretty much live. But I watched most of the stuff, this morning. And it was just one of those things where I was like waiting for a big announcement, but then I realized that if there was anything huge, I would have seen it on Twitter already.
Yep, you would have heard it already.
Yeah.
So nothing big, just some fun stuff.
But there's some stuff. There's some things in there.
There's some stuff and things and some. We did have a comment on our last video.
We did. That's right.
And it's a question I believe only you could answer because it's about Hogwarts Legacy. I did not play.
Okay.
But it comes from Megan. She says, "Oh my gosh, I'm 30 as well, and I cried everything too." I think that was a reference to me crying at Last of Us constantly. She said, "I'm so happy you guys talked about Hogwarts Legacy. I want to buy that for my Xbox One and give it a try. The game has a lot of mini quests. Is there a bigger quest to the game where you quote unquote finish the game, or is the game more of a continuous play kind of game?"
First of all, thank you, Megan, for the comment. Yes, there is a main quest. And it's pretty similar to a lot of open world RPGs. You do have a quest log, which I really appreciate because I have a hard time keeping track of quests. But it'll usually show up as, the main one at the very top on your quest list. But every now and then, once you finish a mission, it might basically say or the professor you're with or whoever might just say all right, I need some time to figure out this, go be a student for a bit, and then you can just go explore the world and do some side quests, and then eventually it'll come back up and say, hey, whenever you're ready, meet me here and we'll continue. So it does have a main quest, and so far it's pretty interesting.
Cool.
I won't get into spoilers or anything
Sure.
like that.
It sounds like if you've played other open world RPGs, you're gonna feel right at home here.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you haven't, nothing's gonna be overwhelming.
No, it lays everything out for you pretty well. You can even, you can track quests, and it even has an option in the quest menu to hit a button. It'll show you where it is on the map too. So it's not overwhelming. It's very easy.
Cool.
One thing I did want to update you on, I learned one of the unforgivable curses.
Not the killing spell though.
No,
Oh,
that one has
darn.
not happened yet.
Oh.
I learned Crucio, which is the torture curse.
Oh my.
Yeah. And so there is a story aspect that I won't get into, but I did go out into the world and found some enemies, and I used it. And holy shit, that's
Pretty rough.
It's fun. It's fun.
Fun, he says. All right, well, great.
No, it's I was able to upgrade so that whenever I curse somebody, it'll ripple to others. So I can use that curse on one person and then just hit them with the normal cast, and it'll shoot off to the other enemies.
Okay.
And It's also not as long of a cooldown as I thought it was going to be. So it's actually
You can just
pretty
you
usable.
can dish out that torture as much as you want.
I was talking to Jetpack yesterday because she's a little bit further in the game and she's had the opportunity to learn two of them, and you can actually turn them down. Like, and supposedly you get like a better story
As I
ending if you
say,
do turn
you're
them
just kind
down.
of supposed to turn them down, probably,
Yeah.
but nobody's going to.
um, and she's turned both of them down. And actually, you have multiple opportunities to learn them. Like if you decide not to, you can meet up with the same character again later, and you can learn them. Uh, you can choose to learn them then.
Okay.
Um, but she's a better person than me, and she's going through this first playthrough as like what she would actually choose in life, and I'm like, nah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna be a menace.
I can already assume that she's a better person than you.
That's yeah, it's not hard to cross that bridge.
Well, all right, Megan. I hope you're a better person than Jake is, and you enjoy this game, and maybe maybe you won't torture everybody just for fun and laugh about it. But I hope that answers.
Yep.
I hope that helps. I hope you pick up the game and you enjoy it. If you do,
Yeah.
let us know. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
And then Rebecca Carr commented. I'm assuming you don't care if I say that's your girlfriend.
Yeah. That's cat's out of the bag. Sorry. That's Jetpack.
But she caught you lusting after Professor Garlic. So
She brought that up to me too.
I think. Well, who could blame you? I mean, sorry.
It was a poor choice of words.
I set you up. I set you up.
You
That's
did.
my fault.
I didn't really. I'm gonna put that one on you.
Okay, maybe I'll respond. Maybe uh, Justin set him up for that one. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thanks for your comments, guys. We appreciate it. I love getting to see those and answer you guys' questions. If you see this and you say, "Hey, I like video games. I have thoughts," leave a comment and we'll read them.
Yeah.
But Jake, you're just returning from a work trip. Is that right?
I am.
Care to indulge us with your experiences?
Yeah. So with it being a long trip, I think I was gone like a week and a half. I should have gotten more time into some handheld gaming with my Switch. And I think I said in the last episode that I was gonna try and play a fair bit of Breath of the Wild because I don't know why I said it like that. Breath of the Wild.
Oh, wild.
um, I because the sequel is coming out in 2 months now. Um, and it completely slipped my mind, or I was just too tired or whatever the whole time. So I didn't get around to it until the last day of the trip when I was on my way home. I actually played a fair bit. Um, and then I streamed a little bit more of it on Tuesday, and I'm back in it. Like I found like that uh urge to play it again,
Good.
and now like I just beat another Divine Beast, so
How many?
like
How
I
many
have two
beasts?
now.
Two. Good.
Yeah.
Did you
I
do them in
have
like the order you're kind of supposed to? Did you do the elephant and then like the salamander? Or what's
no.
the second one?
I I don't think I followed it in the way you're supposed to. I did the elephant and then I did the bird.
Maybe that is the way you're supposed to do. I don't remember. It's
Maybe.
been a while since I played.
Yeah. But no, I did play a fair bit of that, which I am enjoying again, and I've given myself the challenge to uh try and beat it before Tears of the Kingdom comes out so that I can actually play it and, be part of that conversation. But when I wasn't playing Breath of the Wild on that trip, I finally watched Arcane,
Nice.
which was phenomenal.
Glad you liked it. So if you're unfamiliar, that it is on Netflix. It's an animated but it's not anime, but it's animated very, very
It's
well.
like cell shaded
Yeah, it
anime,
is
if that makes sense, I
really
think.
good animation, but that is a League of Legends story. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
anything about League of Legends, so that I think that's what I liked about it most. It was like a new fantasy world that I knew nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, watching that, I agree, it is phenomenal.
Yeah. And I'm the same way. I've never played League of Legends. I don't really know anything about the lore. Um, but it was almost better that way because I
Yeah,
went into it completely blind
yep,
and I just got to know these characters and this world strictly based on the show. Um, and I think I appreciated it a lot more. Um, which, shout out to everybody involved in that. All of the voice acting was
yeah.
phenomenal.
It was perfect.
There was a couple, I forget who. I was looking at the cast list today. There was a couple familiar faces in there.
Really, I don't know if I've checked that out.
The only one that comes to mind is Vi was played by Haley
Oh,
Steinfeld.
okay, yep, yep. I do
Um,
remember that.
and then I forget who played Powder or Jinx,
Jinx,
depending
yeah,
on, what part of the story you're in.
sure.
Um, I forget who it was. It's someone I was familiar with, and either way, she did a fantastic job. Jinx was so fun to watch.
I will die on the hill saying that a fantasy story is only as good as its villain,
Hmm.
and the story of Powder slash Jinx,
Hmm.
her like starting as one of the good guys and then becoming a villain, and like her arc to that, one of the best villain stories ever. And it's like
Oh yeah.
when it's a villain that you actually like feel bad for and you like want to support again, and
Hmm.
you understand why they feel the way they feel. Oh, it was so good. If you
Yeah.
haven't watched Arcane, please do.
Yeah.
It's
We'll put
fantastic.
it this way. I started it. Literally had like the afterthought when I got to the airport on the day of this trip. I was like, you know what? I I should find. I mean, I should download something to watch on the plane. So I realized that I hadn't watched Arcane yet, so I just downloaded, like the whole first season. And I thought like, man, I'll watch an episode or two, maybe play a game or whatever. That got me through the entire day. Like that
Yeah,
got me through two flights and getting to my hotel. I finished the last episode. So I literally binged it in one day.
yeah, I
And God, was it worth it.
for sure. Very good. Um, Anything else? Is that, I guess you're fresh back, but
Yeah, not really. I guess I'll just get this out of the way now because I want to hold myself accountable. I started writing a script for a video on the Last of Us HBO series.
yeah,
Um, so obviously the finale comes out this Sunday at time of recording. Um, so it's not, my thoughts on it aren't finalized, but um, I'm gonna be working on a review for that on our YouTube channel. So definitely
sweet.
keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, I'll be looking forward to that for sure.
Hmm.
And then if there's probably the next time we record, we'll have a big spoiler-filled discussion about the whole series as a whole.
Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, okay. I've been playing Jedi Fallen Order.
Hmm.
With Jedi Survivor comes out, I think the 28th of April, 29th, something like that. And I
Okay.
never finished or really got that far into Fallen Order. So Star Wars is one of my favorite franchises, so I wanted to be able to say I finished that, and uh, be able to dive into Survivor nice and fresh and be caught up on the story and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So far, it's fine. I'm very bad. If you didn't know, it's a Souls-ish type game with
Hmm.
parries and all that stuff, and wow, I'm bad at it. But it's fun. It's Star Wars. Uh, hard to be bad and be Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm have that uploaded hopefully tomorrow, the first episode.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And periodically after that, hopefully time is weird. There's not a lot of it.
No.
So I'm hoping, really hoping that I can push that out and get it done. Hopefully my next news series can be Jedi Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm taking a slight break on Near Automata, as I heard it called.
Near a tomato.
Yeah, that made me laugh. But Near Automata, however you want to pronounce it. Slight break on that. I think there's 19 episodes I have of that.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's plenty more to do. But I definitely want to.
Sometimes.
I definitely want to finish that.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta just switch it up a little bit.
I do. And like I said, I want to play the new Jedi Survivor game, and I can't really do that unless I've caught up on Fallen Order. That's why I'm doing that.
Mm-hmm.
It should be fun.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
But that's all I've been playing. All right, so let's move on. Let's get through all these showcases, whatever you want to call
The gaming news of the
Sure.
last 2 weeks.
And I there's got to be something about this time of year, like the last week of February, first week of March, where there's got to be like some marketing research that these companies just say, dump it all.
Yep.
Put all your information, just anything you've got, any news you've got about releases, we're releasing it then. There was a lot. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
So let's start with the state of play. Again, nothing crazy here. I'm gonna post my note. A lot of VR stuff. Are you a VR person?
We'll put it this way. I have owned a Quest or Quest 2 for coming up on 2 years now. And I have played it probably less than 10 times.
Perfect.
Like,
so no.
No. There's like I watched the state of play, and there was like 4 or 5 different
there was
VR games in there.
Yeah, 4, 5. Yeah, 5.
Yeah. And I was watching them, I was like, okay, that looks pretty cool. And like I've seen, reviews on like PSVR 2 and Horizon Call of the Mountain and all that. I'm like, yeah, that looks cool. But I have to be real with myself and say, I'm never going to play that.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of people are that way. And if you have yourself $500 or $400 and you buy the PS5, then you can drop another $600 and get your PSVR 2.
Ridiculous.
That's right, $600.
Oh man,
that's a lot of money. And then you got to pay the 60 or whatever it is for the game. Probably not that.
If you just want one game.
One game.
Too.
I think
like that's it.
I think you can bundle the PSVR 2 and Horizon Call of the Mountain, and I think you can save like $10 or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're looking out for it. They care.
Yeah.
But there was a few Foglands, Green Hell, Synapse, Journey to Foundation, and Before Your Eyes was the VR lineup that they had. And I think the coolest one I underlined was Synapse. That was like the first person shooter, I think.
And I think it had like your right hand was the shooter and then left hand was like sort of a mind control.
Yeah.
Not mind control, like a telekinetic power.
Yep. So that one,
I don't know why I'm just holding my hand up like
maybe this. You can do it.
Like you can do something here. But yeah, that one looked pretty cool.
Before Your Eyes, have you heard of that one?
I saw the trailer for it.
That's one I've heard. It's been out for a while, and I guess it
Oh,
should
has
be. It
it?
should be noted. You don't need VR to play this.
Oh,
All you
okay.
need is a webcam. Um,
Hmm.
I think you could just get it on Steam as long as you had some webcam. But what it does
Okay.
is it watches your eyes. Obviously, got to be on webcam, and it reads your eyes. And
Mm-hmm.
every time you blink, the scene changes. And I think it takes you through a life, like somebody's life, and
Mm-hmm.
you're as a child, and then you blink, and then you're a teenager, and you're doing something. If you blink, you're going through like your high school dance, and if you blink, okay, now you're an adult. It's apparently it's a pretty powerful and moving type of game.
Yeah.
It's I've heard buzz about that. I think it came out a year or two ago.
Okay.
I've
Yeah, this is the first time I'm hearing of it, like
Yeah,
during this state of play.
yeah, it's I I don't want. Yeah, I hope people realize that. Yeah, you don't need VR. You don't need to spend $600 to play that. You
Yeah.
could play it on your PC now as long as you had a webcam or a camera or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never played it. How much? You have it pulled up? How much is it?
Um, I'm pulling up Steam right now. It is
That's
$10
it?
on Steam.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Deluxe edition is on sale for 13. I don't know what comes with
Yeah,
that, but
maybe.
oh, it's just an art book and soundtrack.
Okay, so you can skip that.
But
Yeah, 10
yeah.
bucks. Apparently that's a tear jerker, which I'm assuming it could be if you're just living a life and blinking through it constantly.
Mm-hmm. My question on that is how sensitive is the blinking
Yeah.
sensor?
I don't
Because
know.
I don't know about you. Like I'm just watching like our cameras here. We've both blinked like 20
Yeah,
times just in the last couple
yeah, and I
minutes.
think that's supposed to be the point. Like you're gonna fly through that pretty quick. I
Right.
guess.
But I'm thinking about it like I'm gonna get like maximum 5 seconds of each
Right.
thing because I'm just gonna be like, oh shit, no, go back.
And maybe there's like a little workaround. Maybe it's like every other blink or something like that. I don't know.
Or maybe you have to be like really uh what's the word I'm looking for? You have to be really intentional with it. Like you have to be
Eh,
like blink really.
that's how I blink all the time. How dare you?
Yeah. Sorry,
My bad.
didn't mean to offend.
So that was all the VR stuff. They had a lot more. Destiny 2 Lightfall,
Mm-hmm.
which is I think the final expansion coming to Destiny 2 before they start on
Really?
Destiny 3.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Destiny is one of those games I really wish I could have gotten into.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. This seems like fun, but I never did.
Yeah. Nope. I'm the same way. Actually, I think when I was in college, I actually had a Destiny poster on my wall. Because that was back when like you do like the GameStop
Yep.
pre-orders and you get like a poster or something. Um, so and I actually did play the first one, not a lot, but like when it first came out, me and my roommates would play it.
Hmm.
And the thing about Destiny is you really need to play with other
You have
people.
to.
And after kind of the initial hype, I couldn't really find that many people that played it.
Right.
Um, and now I'm just like so far removed from it. Like my brother-in-law plays it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Um, and I've like it's always been a thing like, oh yeah, like hop on sometime, like we'll play together, and it just
It's
I
okay.
can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah.
It's just I'm
There.
too far removed from it now.
Right. If there are like things on Reddit, groups on Reddit that you can hook up with people and play that
Mm-hmm.
way. If you're comfortable with that,
Yeah,
I'm not. I can't just hang out with strangers like that, even in an
yeah,
online fashion.
it's a little unsettling.
Yeah. Let's see. Chia. spelled TCHIA, which I kind of liked. It was very
Yeah.
artistic. It was kind of big open world, really focused on exploration. Like you didn't have a
Mm-hmm.
mini map, you just had a compass. You had to like
Mm-hmm.
go into your map, and like it wouldn't even give you a waypoint saying where you were. Like there's just like a maybe I'm over here type of
Mm-hmm.
thing. I did a
Yeah.
little deep dive on Chia, listened to some developer interviews and stuff like that. Like very Breath of the Wild E. I would I don't know, people kept using that word. I guess in terms
Mm-hmm.
of the world and just a bunch of things to discover.
Mm-hmm.
I guess so. You get a glider, and I think the really cool mechanic of it is Chia is the main character, I believe. She
Mm-hmm.
can, I forget what the word is, but like take over an animal's body. She can see, if you see a bird, you can aim at the bird and
Mm-hmm.
soul jump or whatever you want to do. And then now you're the bird and you can fly around for a limited amount of
Okay.
time.
Yeah.
And I think if you saw like a deer, you could jump into a deer and you could run super fast.
Mm-hmm.
And what the developer said, it has a really like deep and kind of dark story to it too. So it seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That comes out March 21st, and it is
Okay. So not that far out.
no, and it's on the PlayStation Plus, the weird tier system. If you're on
Yeah.
one of the two higher tiers that you can play it for free.
Okay.
So that's that.
Do we know how much that's gonna cost regularly?
No, don't. Probably not that much.
Yeah, I would think. I mean, I don't know how long it is, but
It's an indie game.
if
I
it's an
would,
indie
yeah, I
game,
wouldn't assume it's more.
okay.
You find it at all?
Um, I'm looking right now. Nowhere. So on the PlayStation website, it still says release date to be confirmed.
Yeah. Steam, it
I
still
don't know.
says coming soon too. I swear in the state of play it said
Yeah,
March
it had
21st.
a release date on it because I remember it was like written in the sand
Yeah,
on the trailer.
sure. Yeah, well, they just haven't updated. Uh, that was kind of his Baldur's Gate 3, I think looks really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's from Larian Studios, makers of other Baldur's Gate games and Divinity Original Sin, those two games.
Mm-hmm.
That looked good. I don't know if I'll check that one out. Those games are pretty intense, but looks fun. Any
Yeah.
other games jump out at you? I don't know if you have a list in front.
Um, Nothing else in there that I was particularly excited to play. I think we can probably touch on Resident Evil
Yeah, they
4.
showed more Resident Evil 4.
Getting a new trailer, some more gameplay. Um, it looks obviously really good. Um, Looks scary.
Well, the original one was
Like they,
scary. This one's got to be even
yeah, they,
worse.
yeah. Um, so not much to say about that except just they're doing what they've been doing with the previous Resident Evil games, just bringing them like graphically and gameplay wise up to modern day standards, but still keeping the like overall feel of the game like the original. Um, and yeah, I will not play it
Nope,
because it's too
me
scary.
too. Same. Humanity looked really weird.
Yeah,
It was like
like
a puzzle game where you play as a dog and you lead a bunch of humans around this puzzle, this 3D area, and like solve
mhm.
puzzles. It looked strange.
Yeah. You know what that it I don't know why they would need to do this now because the PS5's been out for a few years already, but it kind of seems like a tech demo
Yeah,
type deal.
it did,
Like,
didn't it?
look at these thousands of people that we can put in here, all moving freely.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm interested to see more of like what the actual gameplay looks like, because just from like the video, it's hard to really tell what you do. Like, I know you playing as a dog and you kind of like lead these people, but like,
Right. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm
from
trying to figure out what the objective
yeah,
fully
from what I
is.
see, it's just a puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
That's the release date is May 2023 on that. Yeah, but it looks weird, but also kind of cool.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 6 is getting 3 new fighters. I guess that's probably a big deal to people who enjoy Street Fighter.
Oh yeah.
Not me. Uh, Naruto plus Baruto Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections, which
Quite the
that
title.
is one hell of a title. I think that was a fighting game, right? Forget. I thought the title was funny, so I wrote it down.
Yeah, it looks like a fighting game. I
It's
don't
just
know.
an anime fighting game. Bring it.
Yeah, very very Dragon Ball Z Budokai esque.
Yeah. And then their grand finale, which was felt like an hour long, was their Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League presentation, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh, I was not impressed. Harley Quinn is Spider-Man now. She can zip around, doesn't matter. She can swing on ropes, I guess.
Yeah,
You're
it's
you're shooting people. Anything you need to shoot has a giant purple bubble on it. You just shoot that and it explodes, which
mm-hmm.
was odd. I don't know. I was lost.
I just don't
I
care.
don't care.
It just like I don't know. I've never been a big DC fan anyway.
Right?
Like, obviously Batman is Batman.
Same.
But like the rest of the DC universe just like kind of lost on me. And like, I don't really have an attachment to any of these characters, and honestly the gameplay just kind of like I'm kind of skimming through the trailer now. Like, Harley Quinn, yeah, basically is Spider-Man. Um and the rest of it kind of seems very like, did you ever play Infamous?
Yeah.
It's like a lot of the traversal kind of feels like that,
Yeah.
which
Super zippy, fast, building to
mhm,
building.
yeah, which isn't a bad thing, but it's just
No.
like nothing really like super groundbreaking.
Yeah, I agree. And at the end, uh, Wonder Woman wraps up the Flash. How do we stop you? Says you gotta kill us. Gotta kill all of us.
Hmm.
Maybe, just maybe, you'll get to kill some people.
I mean, if they're gonna call it Kill the Justice League, like, you gotta hold true on at least some of that.
Yeah, right?
Like, I'm not saying you have to kill every single member of the Justice League, but like, make make the player do some, like, make some impactful choices.
Yeah. Kill
Don't,
somebody.
yeah,
Somebody better be dying. I know we've talked about this before, and we will be following this extremely closely.
yeah.
I will not play this, but I will look up if you are able to actually kill
Yeah.
Superman.
And let's be real here. Like, you're playing as the Suicide Squad. They're a team of villains.
Yeah.
Like, don't give them like this moral compass at the very end.
Right.
Like, actually, I don't want to kill you. Like, no, they want to kill them.
Die.
Just do it.
But yeah,
I
okay.
realize I'm being very.
Yeah,
I
you're
think I'm being
very dark today.
violent in this episode.
Very, very dark today. Torturing people. That's all right.
It's just like hold true to the title.
Yeah.
And one more thing I wanted to say about this before we can move on is the fact that you have to be online even to play in single player.
Yeah.
Is the dumbest shit.
I don't know why companies keep doing that.
It's so like unnecessary, and it kind of alienates your player base in a way.
100%.
Because like some people may not have reliable internet. They might pick up a physical copy of this and want to just play it like,
Yeah.
on their own.
Yeah.
And if you have a single player option, there shouldn't be an issue with playing it offline.
No, other than tracking, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and like what is the online is it just for like scorekeeping, like like record keeping or something?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't.
There's got to be something
Yeah.
nefarious to it. Probably.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like
It doesn't
at all justified.
It doesn't gain us players anything to have to always be online. I don't get it, but it helps.
Yeah.
It helps them, I'm sure, in some way.
Mm-hmm. So anyway,
yeah. All right, rant over.
Yep.
I think that does it for the state of play.
Yeah.
Letter grade for the state of play.
I was gonna go straight to like D, but there were some good ones in there, and especially if you're into VR and you have the money to upgrade to the PSVR 2, there was definitely some solid ones in there. I would give it like a C plus.
I'll go straight C.
Okay.
All I got. There was nothing besides Chia and Baldur's Gate 3, like nothing else I cared at all about.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. I'll give it some extra credit for Resident Evil 4, even though I'm not going to play that one.
Right.
That's one that a lot of people are going to be excited for.
Still cool, I guess.
I give them some credit for throwing that in there. But yeah, other than that, pretty uneventful.
I did mean to bring up before this, before we dove into the showcases, Elden Ring got has announced an expansion called Shadow of the Erd Tree, which I'm assuming is a tree in the game.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's like one of the main kind of landmarks in the world.
The big yellow one in the middle.
Yep.
Got it.
The big shiny pretty tree.
Nice. No details on that, just like a tweet that says, "Hey, we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're working on it."
So I granted I'm, Elden Ring is the first From Software game that I've really delved into. But from everything that I'm reading, and like some videos that I watched, they are known for being pretty, like, first of all, their DLCs are known to be pretty good. And it's usually released within a year of the original game. So Elden Ring came out in February of 2022. We're now in March of 2023. So most people are expecting this to release somewhere within the range of like 3 to 6 months. I think that like the video that I watched, granted this, it's all speculation, but basically said no earlier than 3 months, but no later than like 8.
Okay.
Like it will come out this year.
All right. Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see for initial like announcements or whatever. Um, but from if it's to go along with their track record at all, we should see that this year.
Cool. I'm sure tons of people are gonna buy that.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I think Elden Ring's had like 20 million sales or something like that.
good lord, I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
I feel left out. Oh well. I
I still haven't beaten it, but I
Here,
would consider myself an Elden Ring player now.
you go. A game I'm a little more interested in is Starfield,
Mm-hmm.
and like a bunch of people were tweeting that it's been delayed until September 6th. I don't think it ever had a release date.
No, I don't. I think it was. So correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that they initially put out a release date of like November of last year,
Yep,
and then they kind of just said indefinitely
yep.
not releasing them.
And then it was in last year's Xbox showcase, and they had
Mm-hmm.
said uh, everything you see in this presentation will be playable in the next 12 months. So that kind
Mm-hmm.
of put a date, like a date of like June something of this year. So I guess technically it was
Okay.
kind of delayed, but whatever. Not really.
Yeah.
So that's been release date is updated to September 6th of this year.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be its own showcase on June 11th, which should be fun.
Yeah.
We'll get some new updates on that. And hopefully, fingers crossed, no more delays.
Yeah. Hopefully not. I
Uh,
think
I forget what else. When does Tears of the Kingdom come out? That's
May.
May.
Yeah, I forget the exact date, but it's May sometime, like the 17th or something.
Okay, I think that puts Tears of the Kingdom and Starfield not very far apart,
Mm-hmm.
which is gonna suck. Those are two games I definitely want to play, and two games I want to put a lot of time into.
Yeah, I think. Well, if Starfield had come out in June, like they were saying, then yeah, that was way too close.
Right.
But if Tears of the Kingdom comes out in May, and then Starfield comes out in September,
Oh, why was I thinking
it's
June? My bad. I saw the June and yeah, so that's not bad.
yeah,
What else?
yeah.
There's
May 12th is the
Oh, it
Tears of the
was
Kingdom release. By
okay,
the way,
okay, okay. Yeah, sorry. I saw June 11th and I assumed it was coming out on June 11th. That's not right.
yeah,
I
no
just
worries.
yeah. Uh it was Baldur's Gate 3. There was another game that was super close to Starfield.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Baldur's Gate 3, not Tears. My bad.
Okay,
My bad.
all good.
I would choose Starfield over Baldur's Gate 3
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, so I think we can get back to the showcases and stuff.
yep.
Next one was Pokemon Presents. It was Pokemon Day. I forget what the exact day was, but that was like the anniversary of what Red and Blue coming out in Japan. I think is what they declare.
Yeah.
What they
So it
declare
was
Pokemon Day.
February 27th.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's the God, what would that be? 30 no,
Yeah, math. 19,
20 something years.
1993, 4.
I think it was
Darn
95.
it. I was totally
So
guessing.
28 years, is that right? I can't math.
Math seems right. We'll go
But
with it.
yeah,
Yeah, 28 years.
cool.
There was not a lot to get super excited for in this presentation. No new games announced anyway.
Yeah, it was what I was talking about earlier about watching all this stuff, kind of waiting for a big thing to drop, and this was definitely the prime example of
Yeah,
that. It's
yeah.
just like coming up. You
You
wait. It's gonna.
just keep waiting. Boy, oh boy, we're gonna blow your socks off. Well, there was a bunch of stuff about Pokemon cards. If you're a big
Mhm.
card fan, card game collector, whatever.
Yeah, they're releasing like an actual trading card game board
Yeah, which
from what it looked
looks
like.
really cool, and you get like some exclusive cards. I think like
Yeah.
the original
So
legendaries, maybe.
so in the trailer, um, it showed the two people playing, and they had all their cards, like they were all in like plastic wrap, but they had all of their cards with them. And um I can't, like, it's probably not like a first edition, but I thought it would be really funny if this guy was literally like playing the card game with a $300,000
Yeah, right.
first edition Hollow
Yeah,
Charizard.
it's probably fake, but
Yeah, or I think like maybe they're re-releasing those cards, but
yeah, I think so too.
obviously not first edition.
Right.
So
New
it'll be,
edition.
but so there was that.
Yeah, a few other card things. I just wrote down card stuff. I don't really I don't really care about the cards.
Yeah.
There's a new series coming to Netflix called Pokemon Concierge, which is
Yeah.
it's a stop motion animation show. They
Hmm.
didn't show any. There's no trailer, just like a little. I don't know what you call it, like a little teaser thing,
Teaser.
like a
Yeah.
title card almost with Psyduck and another character.
Waddling around.
Yeah, so I mean, I'll watch it. I think
Yeah.
my favorite thing about Pokemon is the anime. I've watched that.
Hmm.
I watch that constantly with my daughter.
Hmm.
So I'll watch that. Stop motion is kind of cool.
Yeah, that's like, I think that was probably the most exciting thing
Yeah, just something
for
new.
me from the showcase. Is just, it's new.
Yeah.
Like, never seen, to my knowledge, we've never seen a stop motion Pokemon thing.
No,
So
I don't think so.
thought that'd be kind of cool.
And then they got a bunch of mobile game stuff. Pokemon Unite is getting like a boss rush mode, and
Hmm.
Zacian from Sword. I guess it's just from Sword. The legendary from Pokemon Sword
Hmm.
is coming to the game. I've never played Pokemon Unite. Have you?
No,
It's like
never
a.
will.
I think it's like a real time strategy game. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems like something like that.
Yep. Pokemon Cafe Remix or something like that is a puzzle game. You get the new Scarlet and Violet starters in that. Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I just saw these. And then Masters EX, which is funny because it spells Master SEX.
I didn't think about that.
Me neither until the stream I was watching pointed it out. And yes, that made me laugh.
Okay.
I didn't write down what was new in that. But
Oh,
I think that's
I'm gonna
more
drop
of
a.
a. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm gonna drop a big old who cares on
Oh,
that.
okay.
Sorry,
It's
I don't. If anyone's excited for that, God, I don't care about mobile games.
Me neither. I've tried and tried and tried, and I can't. That one's more like just Pokemon battles, but
Hmm.
it's got its mobile game uh, formula. Microtransactions, all that stuff.
Hmm.
And then we've finally. I know you have been waiting for news on Pokemon Sleep, and I know you
Dude.
just you haven't even been able to mention it on the podcast, but I could show you guys the texts that he sends me. Where is Pokemon Sleep? When are we getting Pokemon Sleep? Well, it's coming soon,
Liter-
Jake. Very soon.
I have lost sleep over the fact that I have not seen anything on Pokemon Sleep.
The irony.
Oh man,
So
I'm gonna sleep so much better once it's finally here.
you're gonna have a Pokemon to lay down. You're gonna have Machoke cuddling with you at night. It was a
I
mild.
don't think that's what Machoke would do.
He would. He would. He'd cuddle. He's
He'd put
nice.
me in like a headlock and be like,
Go sleep. Uh, the trailer for it was mildly uncomfortable because they did show just
yeah,
Pokemon just snuggling right up next to you. It was just, it was weird. I
yeah.
didn't write down a date. I'm sorry. I forgot.
July 14th, according
There it
to
is. People, not much
this
longer,
article.
but it doesn't stop there. It's well, I guess it's an app that tracks your sleep somehow. I think you're supposed to leave the phone on your mattress and it uses the gyroscope to measure your sleep somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I don't
like
know.
from what the trailer showed, apparent it's like a just a Pokemon themed sleep tracking app, and it'll like analyze how you sleep and then like compare it to how certain Pokemon sleep, I guess.
Okay, yeah, that
um,
sounds about right.
so yeah, there's that's coming out.
Pokemon. Okay, it doesn't stop there. You can, if you see this app and you're like, well, that's just not good enough. There is the Pokemon Go plus device that is just like a flat Pokeball that I'm assuming you put under your pillow or something, right?
Honestly, I literally watched this like an hour ago.
Right.
I don't even
I
remember what
don't
I
remember either. But I think yeah, it's just an extra thing that tracks your sleep even better, maybe. And then it integrates with Pokemon Go, the other mobile game, and you can get other Pokemon. Like, you can get a Snorlax.
yeah.
You can get a Snorlax with a little pajama hat. Uh, I remember
And
that.
I guess so one thing that you I guess could be justified for the 9 people still playing Pokemon Go um is you can use it as like, if you are walking and you hit it, like you can hit the button if you're at a Pokestop and it'll spin it for you so you don't have to do it in the app.
I don't even know what
And
you're
I
talking
guess you
about, but
can
okay.
throw. Okay. Well, I guess like, did you ever play Pokemon Go?
Yes, but for like a week.
Okay. So I actually did get fairly into it when it first came out, up in for probably like the first year or so that it was out, I would say. Um and like I remember when it first came out, they had like an actual little like something like this. I think it might have been the original Pokemon Go
Yeah,
Plus.
just one plus, not two plus.
Yeah, just the it was the plus the word, not with the added plus sign. Um, but I like you can use that to like rather than uh I think I never actually used it, but I think you could like rather than opening up the app, you could just like have it open on your phone while you're walking, and you can hit the like it'll like vibrate or something if there's a Pokemon nearby, or if you're at a Pokestop, and you can just hit the button and it'll spin the Pokestop. You can get your Pokeballs or whatever. Or if you're near a Pokemon, you can like press it and it'll throw a Pokeball at it. Um,
Got it.
if you're into Pokemon Go still, cool. I cannot in for the life of me justify that being $55.
Okay. Didn't know that was
Yeah.
the price.
I looked it up right after the showcase and I was like, you got to be kidding me. The original one is still $30. So
Pokemon, man. Uh,
they're going to get the money out of you one way or another.
Pokemon and even like Nintendo, they're so good at making like these really niche electronics that
Mhm.
nobody would ever need, but are just like they just know the collectors are gonna snag them up.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool if you're a collector in that way. I just don't see how it relates much to average normal
Yeah.
humans.
But
So yeah, Pokemon Sleep. Look forward to it, everybody. Uh,
mark your
yep,
calendars.
July what, 14th?
Yep.
Okay, it's in there.
1 week before my
Oh
birthday.
my goodness. Well, happy birthday to you, sir.
Happy birthday to me.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I guess this was like the big news that we've all been waiting for. Gets some DLC coming this year.
Mm-hmm.
Two of them. One called the Teal Mask. That comes out in fall, and then winter is the Indigo Disc.
Mm-hmm.
The legendaries both look really weird.
Yeah.
The Teal Mask
Definitely.
one looked, I don't know, like a bush wearing a mask. I don't know what that's supposed to
The
be.
Indigo Disc one looked kind of cool.
Like a turtle.
It was like it's sort of like a Lapras, but with a a sort of diamondy shell or like a bejeweled shell. I
Very,
don't know.
very bejeweled, yes.
Yeah.
There's a few other things about like the new terror raids. I don't really understand that. I'd like to get back into Scarlet and Violet. I just
Mm-hmm.
have yet to.
Yeah. That one I'll leave that one to you. I feel like I've made my thoughts on Pokemon games
Yeah.
pretty clear.
Hopefully they fix the performance issues before they start throwing out DLC at us.
Mm-hmm.
Because I played it the other day, the performance is the exact same. I think they've updated it a couple
Yeah.
times. It's not much better, which
Yeah.
I can get past. It doesn't take away my enjoyment of the game, but it should still be fixed.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
That does it for Pokemon Presents. Nothing crazy there. If you were looking forward to Scarlet and Violet DLC, well, by God, you got it.
Yep.
And you don't have
There it
long to
is.
wait. You get two of them this year, so I guess that's cool. So Paradox, on to Paradox announcement show. Uh, I understand this is maybe not everybody's favorite genre, but Paradox does a lot of 4X grand strategy type games, a lot of turn-based combat type stuff, which my jam for sure.
That guy.
This is me. So Paradox, Crusader Kings 3 is probably their most popular game. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the one that most people have heard of anyway. I've dabbled in Crusader Kings. I've dabbled in Stellaris. Um, I think that's probably it as far as games I've actually played. But they showed some games that I thought looked really cool. Their first one, and this is a doozy, Lamplighters League and the Tower at the End of the World.
Okay.
That looked really cool. Did you or did you do you remember watching that?
I did watch the cinematic trailer for it.
Okay.
Um that looked pretty interesting. I'll be open about this that I none of these games really appeal to the type of games I like to
Well, then
play.
the
So
hell with you. Uh,
but I kind of skimmed through the whole showcase.
gotcha. Well, I won't go
And
through.
I will say um I will say, and I'll let you continue.
Yeah,
That Lamplighters League was probably the most intriguing for me
yeah,
personally.
that's probably why it was the first one they showed. It probably at the
Hmm.
mass appeal kind of looked. It seemed like maybe like an Indiana Jones type vibe, kind of the
Hmm.
setting I was getting,
Yeah.
where you're the Lamplighters League, and you seem like treasure hunters, I think. And
Hmm.
it's a turn based combat type game, but it seems like you can maybe like walk around for the battle and take out some guards if
Hmm.
you're stealthy enough. Uh, Maybe you can take out a few bad guys before combat starts. Is kind of how I took it, and then maybe once you get caught, that initiates combat.
Hmm.
The art style was cool. The gameplay looked pretty cool. Uh, The release date's only 2023 right now.
Okay.
So I was really interested in that. I'll probably check that one out too.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Harebrained Schemes was the studio on that one. They've made other, yeah, what a name. Uh, they've made other popular games that I can't remember now. I looked those up. But yeah, that Lamplighters League and the Tower at the End of the World. I think that's well worth anybody's time that can at least tolerate turn-based combat. It's not gonna be,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like the 4X grand strategy that you might think of like Crusader Kings 3. It's gonna play completely different.
Mm-hmm.
But they did Crusader Kings 3 is getting a new DLC called Tours and Tournaments, which seems like you're gonna be able to travel to other people's uh countries and do tournaments, and I don't know,
Okay.
wild things happen in that game. I'm sure they just got even more wild with it. No date on that. Uh, see, I wrote down these names, but I can't remember exactly what they. There was Night Knights of Pen and Paper 3, which looked really cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're super stylistic, and I think that was like their. Oh yeah, okay. It's like a D&D type
Oh, okay.
thing. Okay, like you got characters sitting at a table with a dungeon master sitting from across from them, kind of at the
Mm-hmm.
bottom of the screen, and then at the top of the screen is the actual like full on like setting, and with uh enemies up there, and you just do damage them that way. So that looked really interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, Something was cool was called Life by You, which
Yeah.
is definitely a clone of The Sims.
Oh, for sure.
For
That
sure,
was
they
the
are.
first thought I had when
Yeah,
I watched
you
it.
can see them like building a house and stuff like that. Uh, so that's gonna be interesting. And then Cities
Yeah, I
Skylines
am interested to
2.
see because that's a brand new IP, right?
What's that?
Life by You.
Yeah, that's brand. I've never heard of that before.
So I'm interested to see how that turns out because I'm not personally huge into the Sims world, but Jetpack definitely is.
A lot of people are.
Um,
That's very popular still.
yeah, so I'm interested to see if that I doubt that it's going to be like competition uh for the Sims at all, but
Right.
I'm interested to see how that you know
Yeah.
what they do with it if they do anything interesting.
Yeah, for sure. City Skylines 2 was announced. Apparently,
Hmm.
City Skylines 1 is one of their most popular games. Uh,
Yeah, it was the only one I was familiar with before the showcase started.
I'd seen it. I've never played it. That's like a kind of like a Sim City where you're
Hmm.
just you're building cities, which is probably more fun than it sounds. I'm sure it gets interesting and creative and fun in that way.
Hmm.
Yeah, the that was all the games they showed. The the show itself was awful. They like had a host, and they had like a table set up in it, and like they just like,
They had a live audience of like 30 people.
who were those people? Like there's
I
no
don't know.
way somebody bought tickets to that. Like it had to have been like their own employees that they're just like,
Well, they
hey,
definitely uh something that I noticed cuz I sort of skipped through the whole thing, but I watched near the end when they first showed City Skylines cuz
mhm,
I figured that was going to be a big reveal.
yeah.
And they showed the trailer ended and then they showed the audience and there was like a second or two where no one did anything and then out of nowhere everyone just starts applauding. And I was
Someone held
like
up the applause
someone held
card,
up the
yeah.
sign.
And then they literally rushed the stage and high-fived and hugged, and They were so happy.
Oh my god.
It was so bad. Paradox, if you're listening, you don't need to do that.
No.
Just
I mean,
do
think about
a lame state of play Nintendo Direct type thing where just an AI talks over trailers. That's all you got to
call
do.
it like Paradox Forward or something.
That's Ubisoft. Ubisoft's got Forward.
Okay. Well, no. Well, there's every Direct has every Direct name has been taken, so I don't know what to call it.
And Nintendo Direct is the only one that has Direct. Yeah, we call everything a Direct.
Yeah.
So it's like
just
Kleenex.
think up a catchy name and then just put together a really nice PowerPoint, and
that's all. That's it.
you'll be fine. You're gonna get like 500,000 views on it.
Yep. All right, so that's that. Nothing too crazy. Like again, that's more of a me thing. The lamplighters look fun.
Yeah.
Next page of notes. That's all for the showcase direct thingies.
Mm-hmm.
We did get a bunch of Final Fantasy XVI news. Which if you know me at all, you know I love Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
and
big one.
I'm very excited for 16. Now I watched a few videos, read a few articles. The release date for that is June 22nd, and somebody had asked them, "Is there any chance of that getting delayed?" And Square Enix said there is a better chance of a meteor striking their office building than this game getting delayed. And that's a direct quote.
Oh, don't do that, Square. Square.
My guess is they're doing.
Don't do that.
My guess is they're doing the Nintendo thing, where the game's done, and they're just polishing it.
I would hope so.
Yeah,
because you can't make that sort of statement if you're not really confident.
Yeah, that's got to be what they're doing, which is cool. Which I'm fine with. Make sure it runs great.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a ton of just like info dump little things about this game. There's no it's a little contradictory. One article I read said there's no difficulty setting. Another one said there's going to be an action mode or a story mode. And in the story mode, there's not going to be any difference other than in the story mode, you're going to get equipable rings, like in your item slots or whatever, that are going to kind of help you with some aspects of the game. Like one of them is an auto potion. So if you run out of health, you'll automatically take a potion. Auto dodge, so you can dodge attacks. I doubt that makes you invincible, but maybe just makes it a little easier for you.
Mm-hmm.
And some like a different ring will help out with combos, stuff like that. Because this is going to be an extremely action-oriented Final Fantasy. No turn-based, no pausing. They hired the combat director from Devil May Cry. And something else that I'm forgetting. But the combat in Devil May Cry is very good. They went out and stole him. So this is going to be a lot of. Oh, he worked on Marvel vs. Capcom, which is a pure fighting game. So he's taking the lead on that. So everything's going to be very fast paced, very combo heavy. They showed some gameplay. It looks really good. You're gonna have your standard attacks, stuff like that. You have a dog. You have a dog with you named Torgal, and he looks Torgal, Torgul. Not the best name, but
not great.
He looks like a good boy though, so that's all
sure
that matters.
Just the best boy.
But you can give him commands to heal you or attack, but he's gonna be the only other character in the game that you can control. In some of the older, obviously in the older games, you would be able to control what your other characters did. Even in 15, you had some say on like the like the stronger attacks that your partners do.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I think you're going to be cycling through partners a lot. But you and Torgal are always going to be best buds,
Okay.
and you can give him commands. But everyone else is going to do their own thing. And then
All
you
right.
can also pet the dog. That was
Oh,
You can
thank
pet
God.
Torgal. That was explicitly asked. Can you pet him? And said yes.
I literally playing Breath of the Wild the other day. I said this on stream. I was like, you put these cute ass dogs in here that chase their tails and can catch them, and you don't let me pet them.
You can feed them. Did you know that?
I think I did know
Yeah,
that,
you can just
but you don't let me just
give him a little.
let me pet the good boy.
Let me let me give him a little scratch, a little scritchy scratch. We can do that. You can pet this dog, Jake. Don't worry.
Oh, thank God. All right, I'll play it.
Cool. There's going to be combat scores, which I've never played a Devil May Cry game, but I'm assuming that's a DMC thing.
Yeah, I know it's a pretty heavy like combo
Yeah. So
game.
based on like combos you can pull off, a time, like how long it takes you to beat them, like after every encounter. I don't know if it's gonna be every encounter or maybe just at the end of the mission or dungeon or whatever. You'll get a score, and certain scores, like the better scores, will give you more XP.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the main focus of Final Fantasy 16 is going to be the icons, and you probably know them as like summons or whatever else they're called.
Okay.
They're the giant things that are super powerful.
Yeah.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't think we know exactly how many are going to be in this game, but we got to see 3. We saw Phoenix, Garuda, and Titan.
Mm-hmm.
We saw them fight Garuda, and as when you fight them or after you fight them, you gain their abilities. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so not every character, but there are characters in the game. I'm forgetting what they're called, but they have the power of these icons,
Mm-hmm.
and depending on like sometimes there's like different nations or different kingdoms. Sometimes the kings will have these icons. Sometimes like the royal guard will have the icons or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
as you go around and fight them, you're gonna get their abilities after you defeat them. It seems like. So in that gameplay demo, we saw like the Phoenix use like fire attacks, and you were able to like zip around the arena and stuff like that. Garuda did a lot of wind damage, so you could like, I guess I don't remember, but
Mm-hmm.
Titan focused on like defense. You could put up a shield, and you could see like an arm. It just looked really good,
Yeah.
really cool. And that's gonna be like the main thing. You're gonna be going fighting all these different dominants. That's what they're called.
Okay.
If you have the power of a icon, you're a dominant. But
Okay.
yeah, so that's all I kind of got out of that. There's gonna be no mini games, which is sad to me. Like
Oh,
no,
that's a bummer.
yeah, like every great RPG has a mini game. Like I think Gwent in The Witcher, or any Japanese game has a fishing game.
Mm-hmm.
But no games in this, and they kind of came up with a story reason why. Because Clive, the main character, is on like a quest for revenge. Like he's broken and sad and all that stuff. He's not stopping to fish or play card games. Like, yeah, okay, we get it, but
I mean, there's a lot of games that maybe the mini games don't make a whole lot of sense,
yeah,
but like I don't know. I think
we're okay with
I
that. We don't need it to make
yeah.
sense.
Yeah, it can be a little bit silly. Like
Yeah,
speaking as someone who loves serious sad boy games, you can have a little silliness here and there.
yeah,
Like it doesn't need to be serious all the time. It just then it kind of like it takes away something from it.
I agree. Hopefully there is something to kind of break the seriousness of it, maybe. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if that's the word I want to use, but it's funny
Kind of
to,
break the tension a little
yeah,
bit.
exactly. It's funny to
Mm-hmm.
think about like The Witcher, right? Uh, like the world is literally ending if he doesn't find Siri right away. Like Siri's the
Mm-hmm.
only one that knows how to stop the world from ending.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, cool, I'm just gonna go play Gwent all the time. I'm just gonna play cards. And do you know anybody that plays cards? Yeah, okay. Well, I'm gonna go over there. Yeah, so
Got time for a
we're good.
round of
Yeah,
cards.
care for some Gwent. Silent nod.
Or he's gonna go find some lady's frying pan for her.
Yep, her pan. Yep,
Yeah.
gotta help the girl with the pan.
I don't remember much from that game, but I do remember that
You
mission.
remember the pan? Yeah,
I did the pan mission,
yeah,
yeah.
that's a good one.
So I had a question for you about Final Fantasy,
Yeah.
because I did watch kind of like a recap video on the new gameplay that was announced or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And in terms of the icons, um, so it looked like on like when you're in battle, like in the top corner on the screen, it shows like whatever icons you can equip,
Yeah.
and you can just switch between them by hitting left trigger.
Yep.
Do you know if that's gonna be like sort of like a charge up move or like a special move?
No idea.
Or and there was one part of the, I don't know if this is like a separate mission, or if you can like straight up take control of an icon.
Yeah.
But it looked like there was one where it was like one of them fighting. I don't remember the one's name, but it was fighting Garuda,
Yeah.
the big wind one. So it's like it was actually like you're playing as this other icon fighting another one.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
that's what it looked
So
like.
there's gonna be like those giant uh Godzilla type battles. The
Mm-hmm.
icons are huge. And yeah, you will be able to take control of certain icons. I think that was Ifrit that was in that. I think you became Ifrit and you were fighting Garuda that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they said a lot of those fights are gonna be different. Like that was just like a full on brawl between those two. You could just stood there
Mm-hmm.
punching and stuff like that. Some of them will be some of the fights will like I think they said one is gonna be like an on rail shooter. Like you're just kind of zipping around the area and you can fight that way. So
Mm-hmm.
they're just not gonna be one big thing against another big thing and you just punch over and over. Like there's gonna be
Okay.
some variety to those fights, which I think is really cool.
Yeah. I like that. That's that definitely, because this is, I've never been big into like Final Fantasy before, but watching the gameplay for this one and it being a lot more action kind of focused, like it definitely intrigued me a lot more than I thought it would.
Yeah, a lot of people were kind of upset that this didn't seem like a Final Fantasy game,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't think there's much of an argument for that. Like, what is a Final Fantasy game? It is.
Yeah.
It has the summons. It has the deep story. It has interesting characters. A lot of characters. Some reason people think that Final Fantasy should be turn based, and it hasn't been turn based since
Mm-hmm.
Lightning Returns, which I don't even know what year that came out, like 2013, 2014 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Final Fantasy 15 was not turn based. Final Fantasy 14 is an MMO.
Yeah.
So when someone says that it doesn't feel like a Final Fantasy game, I don't know what.
Yeah.
Just tell me what a Final Fantasy game is, I guess. And if you want turn based, like there's plenty of other options out there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Octopath Traveler is basically a Final Fantasy game
Yeah.
without those Final Fantasy elements. So I don't know. That kind of upset me that people were saying that. Like I don't know what you want. If it's
Yeah.
Because every Final Fantasy game has a different feel, and they do that on purpose. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's what it's all about. Every Final Fantasy game is going to be a little different. And that's
Yeah.
what I look forward to. I want to see what's new, what's different. I guess I just don't want to play this. I don't want to play the same Final Fantasy game over and over.
Yeah.
That's my point.
And that's like, again, speaking as an outsider here, one of the other videos I watched kind of mentioned um, that aspect of it where there might be some older fans of the series who would be upset the fact that it's not turn-based anymore, but kind of justifying it by saying, like, Square needs to adapt to new audiences. Like, there's a lot of people who Final Fantasy 7 or 15 or Final Fantasy 7 remake was their first Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
Like, the they did the turn-based thing for a long time, but this is such a long-running series, like they need to adapt.
Yeah.
And they need to make it new and fresh to not only, switch things up for the old fans, but to make it appealing to new fans that might not care as much about turn-based stuff.
Yeah. And they tried, like Final Fantasy 13 had 3 games in it. 1, 2, and Lightning Returns. So those were the last
Mm-hmm.
ones that had any type of turn-based, but even in that turn-based, like they found ways to make turn-based combat feel different. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't even think I never played Final Fantasy 12, but I don't think that was quite like what you think of as turn-based. I think it was a lot of moving around an area and
Mm-hmm.
turn-based, but like Final Fantasy 15 tried to really change up the formula with combat. Didn't quite
Mm-hmm.
stick with everybody. I think this game, I think people are gonna love the combat in this.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna appeal to like the God of War fans and stuff like that. So yeah, bring it
Yeah,
on.
I can definitely. Yeah.
Bring on
Well,
Final Fantasy 16.
yeah, I'm. I've been kind of watching from the sidelines this whole time, and the more that we hear about it, the more I'm like, you know what? I think I could get into that.
Yeah, I will definitely be playing it on my channel as long as I can get a PS5. Don't have one of those yet. And they did there
Yeah.
is a PC release coming out, but they said it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to be for a while because they
Yeah.
have a 6-month exclusivity on PlayStation. I'm guessing
Mm-hmm.
after that maybe it'll come to Xbox,
Yeah.
but not on PC. Said that was going to be a
Mm-hmm.
while before it comes to PC.
Well, something that should be a little bit hopeful for people still in the search for a PS5. I actually have witnessed them on shelves in stores now.
Really, I have not.
Yeah.
I guess I don't go to the store
I
very much.
I forget where I was, either at a Best Buy or it might have even been a Walmart or something, but I saw like multiple PS5 God of War bundles in the box, in the case at a store.
I think
So they are out there.
yeah, Sony is saying that they're gonna be more and more available now.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I'll be keeping my eye out,
Yeah.
saving up my pennies.
Yeah.
Um,
Not I know it's still $500, not something that people can drop out of nowhere,
Nothing
but
to sneeze
for
at.
those who have been waiting, they are out there now, at least,
Yep,
which is a lot more than can be said for the last few years.
it's been out for what? Came out in 2020, right?
Yeah. So
Um,
over 2 years now,
yeah, they're just now like
which,
getting caught up.
yeah, that's got to be like, I don't remember any previous generations having, like, I mean, granted, this dropped right in the middle of COVID,
Exactly.
so
Yeah, that
supply
was.
chain issues were a thing.
Yeah.
I know there's a chip shortage, but I don't remember any other generations of consoles ever being this hard to find.
No, and I think Switches maybe got to that point. I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe COVID. Maybe that was like during COVID that I remember seeing that, not before, but I thought I remember people saying that's hard to find a Switch anywhere.
No, you are right about that. So I kind of forgot when there was a time because I've owned multiple Switches. I went through an era where I would buy one and then have to sell it for whatever reason, and then I would a few months later I'd be like, you know what, I missed that. I'd buy it again. Um, at one of those times, it was like very hard to find.
I bet.
Like they weren't in stock anywhere.
You
I
have
don't remember when that was.
do you have the OLED model?
I do.
You do? Do you
Yeah.
big improvement?
Which for handheld,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
100%. Um, it's slightly bigger screen, not like. I mean, I guess if you look at them side to side, it is pretty noticeable.
Yeah.
But really, just the overall quality and the brightness, like, definitely changed handheld gaming. Like,
It's awesome.
um, it makes it, in my opinion, a lot more immersive.
Yeah.
Um, and I've kind of like the other day was the first time I've played my Switch docked at all. Like it's pretty much turned into only a handheld
Right.
gaming device for me. Um, but it definitely, yeah. If you play a lot of handheld, I think it honestly is worth it if you can find one.
Right. And I guess I'm just kind of holding out hope that Switch 2 or whatever you want to call it is coming
Mm-hmm.
soon. I'm going to feel real silly if I upgrade to a OLED and next week, they announce the Switch 2.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just kind of waiting.
Yeah, I think so. There's a part of me that selfishly like. Do you think that they're gonna stick with the, for lack of a better term, convertible consoles? Like they can do handheld and docked.
I bet yeah. I bet they're going to stick with even like the Switch name. I bet it'll be Switch,
Yeah.
I don't know. Cuz there's nothing that we want to change about that aspect of it. We
Mm-hmm.
want it to look better. We want even like on when it's docked. Like I think it still only goes 1080, right?
Yeah, 1080. I don't even, maybe 60
Yeah,
FPS. I
maybe.
don't know.
So I think if they could upgrade that, upgrade the battery, upgrade the resolution, even in handheld, upgrade the screen,
Mm-hmm.
that's all we want. That's the only thing they'd have to
Yeah.
do. So if
Mm-hmm.
they called it Switch Pro or Switch Plus Plus or whatever, that's all they'd have to do. And I would that's the one I would rather buy
Mm-hmm.
rather than just the same hardware with the bigger screen.
Yeah, and that's where I say selfishly, part of me like almost doesn't want them to do handheld again. Wants them to go back to a standalone console so that I can justify having, like, if they made it backwards compatible, I could have, all my Switch games on this and then still take my OLED Switch on the road and still be able to play in pretty decent quality.
Yeah,
But it does make sense for them to stick with the handheld and actually, bring it up to like uh higher quality, at least in docked mode.
yeah,
Because like, the Steam Deck is like a year or so newer than the OLED Switch, but it can still only do like 720 in handheld
really.
and maybe I think 1080 in docked. I don't know if it can hit 4K or anything like that.
Can you dock the Steam Deck?
Yeah. Valve actually released their own dock, which is like $100, but and it's basically like it doesn't like sit, or it doesn't like actually connect to the dock itself by like sitting on it like the Switch does,
Mhm.
because the USB-C is on the top of the Steam Deck.
Okay.
So it like sits on a little stand. Like I have a similar one. It's not a dock, but like it sits on kind of a stand like this.
Okay.
And then there's just a cord that plugs into the top of it. Like it just wraps around the top, and
Huh.
then that can connect to your PC.
Okay, I guess that's cool.
Yeah.
So could you play that
So
on a TV
yeah.
with maybe
So
like a
it's
Steam
kind of,
controller?
I think, I mean, yeah, or I assume you could use
Probably use your
any
Xbox one.
like Bluetooth controller or whatever.
That's pretty cool.
Um, can it? I'm just gonna look it up because now I'm curious. I can't remember if it can hit 4K or if it's only like 1080.
Uh, I just thought it was interesting because it's like, why would you dock your Steam Deck? Like, wouldn't you have a PC? But I guess if you just bought a Steam Deck
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't have a PC, I mean that actually would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I can definitely see some justification for that,
Yeah,
especially if you don't like, if maybe you don't have a PC or if you just have like an older one that can't run modern games as well. Like the Steam Deck can run most modern games pretty well.
that's cool.
And if you're able to just, run at that quality, maybe slightly upscaled to a TV or a monitor, like, you know, that's a pretty, and you can use it as sort of a PC. It has Linux on it. So
Okay, so it's got like a
you can,
browser.
yeah, like you can switch from the Steam mode to the desktop mode, and it's basically like a desktop.
Cool. Did you check out
Yeah.
Vampire Survivors yet?
No.
No. It's like it's
Mm-mm.
only like $5, but it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I wouldn't even know how to describe it to you really. It's got like the really old 16-bit art style. But all
Mm-hmm.
you do is you pick a character and you just move around a map and you pick up you got to kill enemies. You start with one like a weapon or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
the weapons are all auto attack. All you do is walk around.
Mm-hmm.
And as you defeat enemies, you pick up gems, and that's your XP. And when you level up, you get to pick a new upgrade, a new weapon, and you just keep doing that
Okay.
over and over and over, and it can get intense. And
Yeah.
it's fun, and it's only $5. Like it
Okay.
is that's a fun game. I
Yeah.
picked that up a couple weeks ago, and I like it a lot. That's
Okay.
that's a good Steam Deck game for sure.
Yeah. I'll definitely look into that.
Vampire Survivors. That's the name of that. So the
Cool.
last thing I want to talk about today is PsychOdyssey. Did you look into this at all? I just put it on the
So
notes. I didn't tell you about it.
I just, so I didn't know what it was. So I just looked it up on YouTube and I watched the trailer for it. So from what it looks like, it's a sort of a documentary series from Double Fine Studios on the making of Psychonauts 2.
It's exactly what
Is
it
that
is. Yeah,
okay?
and it's impressive because one of my favorite podcast platforms, whatever you want to call it, is called MinMax, and
Hmm.
they have been doing like a full week long celebration of this documentary. So he's been doing interviews and roundtable discussions and things like that
Hmm.
on this. So this is from three guys made this whole documentary, and
Really?
they're called Two Player Productions, and
Okay.
they are Double Fine's like in-house video team. Like they make all the trailers and things like
Okay.
that. Anything video related for Double Fine, they do.
Hmm.
Uh, so they said they got 5,000 hours of footage, and
Oh my
they
god.
edited it down to 22 hours. 32 episodes is this series.
Oh my god.
I think I've watched maybe 12 or something like that so far.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They range from like 20 to 40 minutes. I mean, you can pound them out.
Okay.
It's
Mm.
not too bad. But yeah, 32 part series, and it's really hard to forget that I'm not watching The Office or Parks and Rec. Because
Yeah.
just that mockumentary style so in your head, like who's the goofball, who's gonna fall in love and stuff like that. And like none of that happens.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's a very raw look into what it takes to develop a game and the
Yeah.
people that have to make them. It it's I haven't gotten to anything like the documentary starts in like 2015, so
Yeah.
like right before the game's even announced. They're just kind of working on little things on it, and then uh, it leads all the way up to the release, which I think it was in 2021 or something. I don't remember.
I want to say it was late 2021.
Okay, I guess then. But it's fun to be able to see, like, you get to sit in on all their meetings, not all,
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of their meetings where they're just brainstorming ideas. Like I never played Psychonauts 2. I don't think I've ever actually even played a Double Fine game,
Mm-hmm.
but it was just kind of cool to see how a game gets made, and it's not always pretty. They I haven't seen it, but they talked about like a lot of the tension that the people have, like in the creative process. People getting fired because they're just not working out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to get to see that kind of stuff. The stuff that no other studio would ever let you see. Like
Yeah.
I think Santa Monica, Sony Santa Monica put out a little God of War uh, thing like that, documentary about making it,
Yeah.
but that was what, like an hour long.
So actually did I wanted to get into this because I also have not played Psychonauts at all, but this really interests me because both Santa Monica and Naughty Dog have made documentaries
Okay.
on the making of God of War and The Last of Us, respectively. The Santa Monica one's 2 hours,
Okay.
so it's a full length movie. Um, and I like you can watch it on YouTube. I have it saved on my phone. I watch it pretty regularly just because
Just for fun.
like well it's just fun to like kind of go back to the feeling of when those games first came out, but also like it does get pretty raw, like showing what it took to make these games and like how the creators of them dealt with it mentally. um and in the God of War one specifically, like near the end of development, there's a whole section where you can kind of hear the whole team just not really talking shit about each other, but being really honest about the fact that like either you're not doing this right, and then or like Corey Barlog saying like I don't want this to like trying to think of how he said it. He's like I just want it to fucking work. Like
Right.
basically what it's saying, like I pay, like I've brought you in because you're supposed to be the best of the best, like I need you to make this work. And then on the other side, it's people on the development team saying like you need to lower your expectations,
Yeah.
or like you can't come to me 2 weeks from beta and say like, oh, I want to add this and I want to do this. And like it's really interesting to see like you know the people behind these games we play.
Yeah.
They put in 5 years of work for one thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I think that's really interesting. Something that we probably don't think enough about as
yeah.
as gamers. That people dedicate a lot of their lives to these things, and
Hmm.
it it's not always happy. It's not a
Yeah.
dream job, that people sometimes think it is.
Hmm. And I hope you know, I hope that their employees were treated better, like for all of these examples than say, um, like some of the ones that have come out with like toxic or accusations of toxic workplace dynamics and stuff like that. Like I hope all of these studios have been better than that, but I also, you know, I hope that people get to see like sort of a background view of what it's actually like to work in this industry. And like, I don't know if I'm making any sense.
You are,
but
yeah. I think it's important to at least like watch those, like the 22 hours one. That's pretty intense. I don't even know if I'll get through all of it. Maybe in time when I'm bored, I'll skim or I'll watch the rest. But I think it's important to, like you said, realize what these guys are going through and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, PsychOdyssey is very intense, 22 hours long, but I think it's worth watching at least a few just to kind of get to meet these people and to see a very in-depth look at the creative process of all these games. Even a game like Psychonauts 2, like I've heard of it. I don't care about it at all, but I'm like really interested to see how it was made. I think that's cool.
Yeah. Especially with it being kind of like, we haven't personally played it, but I feel like it was a pretty highly anticipated game when it came out.
Yeah.
And it took a long time to get there. So I'm interested to see like how the process went for a game that was like very much like anticipated.
Yeah. I'll update you if I watch the rest of it.
Yeah, I think I'll check out at least the first few episodes just because I kind of want to see myself what the
they're very well made. Like I said, I felt like I was watching The Office. Yeah, so it's not amateur made, or it's very professional. It's fun to watch. All right, that's all I've got to talk about. What about you?
Yeah. No, I think we're good. We're approaching hour 45.
That was good. What a fun discussion about games.
Some somewhat lackluster showcases, but all of them had, well, maybe not all of them, but there was definitely some things in there that...
Sir, are you saying that Pokemon Sleep was not up to your standards? Was it not what you were expecting?
I mean, you know me, my expectations for that were through the roof. So
I think they met them.
To say I'm a little disappointed, I think is justified.
Okay. Well, barring any more technical difficulties, you should be listening to this very soon. Hopefully today is Friday and you're watching this.
Today is okay.
Yeah, sorry. No. Hopefully today
is
hopefully it's
not Friday.
Hopefully it's Thursday the 10th and you're watching that. Damn it. Hopefully today is Friday.
Today is Thursday. What are we doing?
Hopefully you're listening to this and today is Thursday the 10th and it's up. Damn it.
No.
Friday the 10th. I got to edit this out.
There we go.
God damn it.
No, keep it.
Anyway,
hopefully today is yesterday is tomorrow.
And I hope you're enjoying this podcast. That's okay. Just whenever you're listening to this, I hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah. I'm enjoying it.
I am too.
Yeah.
Who wants to do the outro? Jake, do you want to do the outro?
I can do the outro.
Outro. Don't forget our catchphrase either.
How could I ever? Well, thank you guys so much for watching episode 9 of the A to Jump podcast. As always, I am your co-host, Jacob, aka Gooba of Gooba and Jetpack, and I am joined by my co-host, Justin of Justin Games. We're going to try and put these episodes out a little bit more regularly. That's all based on my ridiculous schedule, but we're going to see what we can do there. And yeah, you can find all of our links to our respective channels in the description. And as always, just keep
Keep
on
on
gaming.
gaming. Goodbye.